With the third pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Sam Darnold, quarterback, USC.
So there he is, 20 years old. In other words, almost half the age of Josh McCown, going up the steps and adding his name with Teddy Bridgewater to the Jets draft quarterback room. The third overall pick in the draft is Sam Darnold out of USC.
And I've got to be honest with you. I think the Jets have hit on a quarterback that can play early. But the beauty of the situation right now with the Jets is because they re-signed Josh McCown. They can play him when he's ready to play. It's a little bit like Carson Wentz a couple of years ago with the Eagles. They had Sam Bradford. If it took him a year, it was okay. If it took him 8 games, it was okay. If the kid's ready week 1, it's okay. But it's going to be on his schedule. Now he's 6'3.5", 221 pounds. He's the consummate playmaker. He keeps his eyes up to extend the plays. The only downside, ball security is an issue. Not just interceptions, but in the pocket with fumbles. Now let's take a peek at him at USC. I love when he extends the play. He's looking left. He feels it back right, though. Steps up into the pocket. Look at the eyes. Stay up. Now throw him open on the back line of the end zone. That is a beautiful throw into a tight window. Play action on the run. Highly accurate on the run. Great throw. Touchdown. And again, is he an athlete? Scored 20-plus points a game in high school basketball, 3-sport star. He can beat you with his legs. The downside, ball security in the pocket, way too loose. Now, when that ball gets kicked out in the pocket like this, he's got to clean it up. And the way I look at this, Troy Aikman, you and I are on the same page. We think that this kid's the best quarterback in the draft. And I ask you as a former quarterback, I think you can clean up some of those issues mechanically in the pocket with the football. Do you agree?
I do agree. Let me say this, Mike, that what's interesting about the New York Jets, they gave up a lot, as we know, to move up 3 spots into that number 3 position, and it very easily could have turned out that they got the 3rd best quarterback. I think, and we'll never know for certain, but most teams had Sam Darnold picked as their number 1 guy, and I'm not so sure that the Jets didn't get the guy that they would have taken had they have been the number 1 pick. As far as Sam Darnold, he does. He checks all the boxes. He's big. He's able to make plays outside the pocket. You look at his tape and the things that he's able to do. There's some of the creativity that he has. In fact, I think some of his best throws came when he was on the move.
I agree,
see him
Troy.
working the pocket right there and then finding the receiver down the field. He's spent a lot of time this offseason working on his throwing motion. Jordan Palmer, his quarterback coach this offseason, tightened things up. His pro day was outstanding. He threw in the rain. He'll have some of those conditions when he's with the New York Jets. You talk about the turnovers. Those were problematic. He had 22 turnovers just this past season in 13 games alone. I believe that those are things that can be coached out of a young player, and I expect that to happen with Jeremy Bates as his offensive coordinator.
And Troy, 2 quarterbacks early in their NFL career that had issues with fumbles, Andrew Luck and Russell Wilson. You live with some of that because you've got the playmaking to go with it, and he's got to continue to improve in that area. I think Sam Darnold will. And Rich, this guy's wired the right way to handle New York. I was in the stadium in that Rose Bowl against Penn State. He throws that touchdown to tie the game, and he was like this. The criticism's not going to bother him in New York.